did I get you?" "You're hilarious, Chinook, really." He shook the snow off before it melted. When they were newborns back at Tree Haven, and it wasn't so long ago, Chinook had treated him with about as much respect as a mulched-up leaf. After all, Chinook had been the most promising hunter and flyer, and Shade just the runt of the colony. But now, after all Shade's adventures, Chinook had decided he might be worth talking to. "Chinook, that's no way to treat a hero," Marina said, her eyes flashing gleefully. Shade sniffed. Hero. He sure didn't feel like a hero. Maybe the first night or two, after he'd gotten back to Hibernaculum, and everyone listened to his stories. But after that, somehow, things went pretty much back to normal. He ate, drank, and slept like everyone else, and felt the same as he always had. Frankly, he'd expected better. What did he have to do to get some respect? He'd escaped from pigeons and rats, from owls and cannibal bats. He'd tunneled beneath the earth and soared through lightning storms. He'd flown in the blazing light of day. And now he got snow dumped on his head. Heroes did not get snow dumped on their heads. With a grimace, he watched as Chinook swooped down beside Marina. Chinook liked her company, that was obvious. Over the past few nights, he'd gone out of his way to fly beside her and roost near her during the day. The amazing thing was, Marina didn't seem to mind. The snow was probably his way of impressing her, Shade fumed, and it seemed to have worked. Look at her, still smiling about it. Sometimes, watching from a distance, Shade would actually hear her laughing at something Chinook said, a kind of tinkly laugh he'd never heard before. She sure didn't laugh like that with him. It drove him crazy. What could Chinook possibly come up with that was so funny? He wasn't smart enough to be funny. Were they laughing at him? "I've been thinking about those two cannibal bats," Chinook said. "Goth and Throb." "Uh-huh," said Shade. "And I figure I could have fought them." Shade's ears twitched indignantly. "No, Chinook, they would have eaten you." How many times did he have to go through this? Chinook just never quite believed he himself couldn't have beaten them in battle. "They were huge," Shade told him. Chinook flared his nostrils carelessly. "How huge?" "About this huge," said Shade wickedly, and he sang sound right into Chinook's ears and drew an echo picture in his head of Goth lunging, snout cracking open to show twin mountain ranges of dripping teeth, his 3-foot wings slick with sweat, billowing. The sound picture blazed in Chinook's mind only a fraction of a second, but was so sudden and so horrifying that he cried out and careened into a fir bough, dousing himself with snow. "Was that really necessary?" Marina asked Shade. "Oh, I think so." "Nice trick," grumbled Chinook, shaking the snow from his shoulders. "Still think you could fight them?" Shade asked. "Well, we could have fought them back at Hibernaculum. There are thousands of us there." "No," said Marina. "They would have waited until you were all asleep and eaten you one by one through the whole winter. That was their plan. And they really would have gone straight for you, Chinook. Lots of flesh on those bones." "Well, it's muscle," said Chinook proudly, "not fat." And then he frowned at the idea of being a meal. "I still think I could have—" "Well, they're dead, so you'll never know," Shade said impatiently. "Throb, anyway," said Marina. "We saw him turn to ash. But we only saw Goth get hit by the lightning." "There's no way he could have lived through that," said Shade, and he was surprised at the urgency.